For a long time, there has been a lot of debate about what happened to the tails in Dragon Ball. People say that Akira Toriyama forgot about them, and others say that Goten and Trunks got theirs removed when they were born. So, what is the real reason why Goten and Trunks don't have tails? I have the answer you've been looking for. Hey, how's it going? My name is Raf, and welcome to Dragon Ball Code. And today we're going to talk about what happened to the tails and why Goten and Trunks don't have them anymore. And if this is your first time here and you like Dragon Ball content, consider subscribing because this channel is all about Dragon Ball. In the beginning, Goku had a tail, Gohan had a tail, Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta all had tails, all the Saiyans had tails. But suddenly, when Goten and Trunks were introduced, they didn't have one. So what happened to them? Well, let's show first what Akira Toriyama said. In an interview in January 2003 for Shonen Jump, he was asked, why don't Goten and Trunks have tails? And he said, it seems that tails are a recessive genetic trait. And that sounds like a great answer, but there is a problem with that. I know that this is a work of fiction and you shouldn't be comparing it to real life things, but just because, I'm gonna do it anyways. When you're talking about genes, you always have the dominant genes and the recessive genes. The dominant genes are the ones that dominate, and the recessive genes are the genes that usually go away if the dominant gene takes over. So let's put it in paper. We are going to use the Punnett square for this. The Punnett square is a simplified version of how the genes might cross when people have children. All these little squares would represent the different chances of a specific trait passing on to the children. So let's say that this T stands for tail. A capital T is a dominant gene and a lowercase t would be a recessive gene. Akira Toriyama says that tails are a recessive trait, which would mean that the T would be a small t. Now, a human would also have a small t because they don't have tails. Here, for example, on the top we have Goku and on the left we have Chi-Chi. Now, you basically have to do the same thing you do with the multiplication table. You take one from the top and one from the left and you put them in the square. And just like that, you get all these results. In all these cases, the children would be born without a tail because all the t's are lowercase t's. This sounds great for Goten and Trunks, but that doesn't explain Gohan because he had a tail and he is Goten's brother. You could maybe say that Gohan was a mutation, but here's a problem. If the tail was really a recessive trait, in Planet Vegeta, some Saiyans would be born without tails. And I don't think I've seen a Saiyan from Universe 7 without a tail yet. Maybe that's what happened in Universe 6, I don't know. For Universe 7, it would actually have to be a capital T for the tail gene. That way all the Saiyans would have it. So, going back to Goku and Chi-Chi, if you put it in the Punnett square, it would look like this, meaning that every offspring would have a tail. So then, Gohan would be right because he had a tail, but not Goten and Trunks. So in reality, what he said doesn't really work, so he probably just made it up on the spot. Did he forget about the tails? No. What is the real reason why both of them don't have tails? Easy. Toriyama simply hated to draw them, so he completely got rid of them. And he said this in the history book of Dragon Ball in 2016. This is 13 years after he said the other reason. They asked him, did the tails get in the way of the fighting? And he said, no, it's just that I'm always thinking about how things are supposed to work. So it was a real pain to figure out how he'd put his pants on and stuff like that. That's what always bugged me the most. Is there a hole in the pants? Does he put his tail through first and then put the pants on? And here's the answer. So that made me want to just get rid of the darn thing, which I did in the end, and laughs. So that's why there are no tails anymore. As for a reason in the story, just think whatever makes sense to you. And if you enjoy this and you would like to support my channel, please check out my Patreon page in the description below. And of course, if you like Dragon Ball content, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.